Righto lads, we're back again. Miami, episode 4, sprint weekend, this time, the first one of the season. Should be interesting. This one will be a bit of a longer video. Obviously 2 races, 2 qualifying sessions, if I can even talk. We've had a really crap time with the upgrades. We've had, 4 out of 5 upgrades failed. The only one that comes through is a reliability upgrade. So yeah, that's not great. Should be clear weather-wise, no rain on the forecast. We do have a special helmet for the weekend. It's not as good as mods on PC and stuff, but yeah, decided to make a helmet. Send it around the Miami Dolphins. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it.
Welcome to the Sunshine State. Miami is ready and we're ready for practice.
As usual, flying through the practice programs. Only the one practice session this time, so there's a lot of cars out on track. I only did 2 of the programs, the race strategy and the battery or the ERS management as well. Did time management, didn't really work out.
Hello everyone and welcome to sprint qualifying. This is a frenetic condensed session that will set our grid for the sprint race tomorrow. It's going to fly by. Let's get into it.
So as we load into sprint quali here, you can see the approximate weather already rearing its head with some rain that's shown up out of nowhere, and it looks like if we make it through to SQ3, it is going to be pretty much like Inter's weather. So very nice track, Miami. I don't really drive it a lot, so there's a couple of things that are a bit different, a few curves that have changed because I don't think I've really raced it much since about F126. So as we come through the first sector, the S's, this corner here is just terrible. I'm so crap at it. The long left, it almost kind of reminds me of Paul Ricard. One of the corners there, it kind of ends up being a hairpin, but it's a very long one. So yeah, not great from us. So I think for this weekend I had the AI on about 108 for quali, and for the race I think I kept it on about 108. Just because usually I like to put it up, but I just thought I'm probably not that good at Miami, so I decided to just keep it the same. So hopefully we go alright though as we go through the tight little section there. As now on the left you'll see the Hard Rock Stadium, the home of the Miami Dolphins. The helmet does look pretty good. Seen it in that little cutscene just before we got in the car. I do like it. Like I said, it's obviously not going to be as good as getting a mod and stuff, but beggars can't be choosers. So we're going to run up to the line here. I'm not sure if it's a very good lap. It's a 127.5, puts us ahead of Albon, Hamilton, Hadjar. You can see by the time the session's coming to a close, we end up P9. We decided to stay in the pits, and we did stay P9. So very solid from us, getting through on the mediums. Obviously you have to, but yeah, solid from us. Gasly didn't have the greatest time of it, I don't think. Yeah, P17. Very close, he only just got pipped as well. See Perez making it out of Q1 for Cadillac. And Fernando Alonso again, another, well, he's escaped another Q1. That's very good from him. Unreal scenes. And of course, in the last race in Bahrain, I don't know if anyone really noticed, but he ended up qualifying P10. He made it into Q3. It was mental. As now we skip through SQ2 towards the end of the session, went out and did a first lap, and it was a 127.5, and then decided to go back out. As you can see, that rain that was forecast has come. So we've had to abort our lap. Luckily though, we're going to scrape through in P10. Only just by about a tenth there ahead of Sainz. Max Verstappen out, P12. That's a big one. And again, Fernando Alonso just shoving that Aston Martin up the grid somehow. That is unreal from him. Lindblad making it in P8. So honestly, if we can get a P8 in this SQ3, I'll be very happy. Even a P10, it's good to finally be in the last part of qualifying. As you can see, the rain did come. Now, I was the only one, you'll see I'm the only one on track. I was the only one to go out there, do a lap, and then I did a cool down lap. Had to save a bit of fuel, and then I went again as the time expired. Now, it's a pretty scruffy kind of lap on the Inters. Like I've been saying, I'm not great at Miami anyway. It's still good fun though. I'm surprised that no one did the same thing, because as you'll see, there's quite a lot of time. We're already up by 3/10 coming to the end of the first sector as we now go onto the long back straight. Well, I suppose there's a couple of them, but the first of two. As going up into hot lap, you'll see the time still creeping up about 4.5 tenths almost, as we're currently P8, so we can only get better from here. So we said P8, and we're definitely probably going to exceed that, which is great. You can see gaining a lot of time through there. We're up by nearly 6.5 tenths now. This little section here I'm actually quite good at compared to the AI, so even though we lost a bit of time there and we've kept kind of bleeding time a bit, we are going to pick it back up on the back straight as we go past the Hard Rock Stadium on the left, and we're up by about 6/10 as the checkered flag drops now into the final couple of corners. We're still hovering around that 6/10 mark, and now, well, we gained a bit of time now up to nearly 6.5 tenths, but it's going to stay around 6/10, so solid second run from us in that session, and it puts us P6. Obviously our best qualifying. Yeah, wow, what a quali. Very happy with that. Piastri just ahead of us, out qualifying a Red Bull of Hadjar and Kimi Antonelli as well in the Mercedes. Very, very good. Hopefully, obviously the top 8 score points in the sprint, so if we can just stay in the top 8, I'll be very, very happy. Alonso, you can see they're a fair way off Lindblad, so the pace of that car showing a bit.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. With its 3.36 mile track and 19 corners, this Miami Grand Prix should create great opportunities for these Formula 2 drivers to overtake and show what they can do. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Oscar Piastri, O'Reilly, Hadjar, Antonelli, Lindblad, and Fernando Alonso. Sainz, Verstappen, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Lawson, Albon, Perez, Pierre Gasly, and Esteban Ocon. Hulkenberg, Bottas, Behrman, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out. We welcome to the commentary box Anthony Davidson. I'm Alex Jakes. We're both looking forward to a really intriguing race today. So, a sprint race today, and that means lights to flag, no stops. And how is that going to affect the driver behind the wheel?
Absolutely. So for today, there's no pit stop, or shouldn't be a pit stop anyway, if things go right, and you can forget about strategy. You're just driving today as fast as you can, make those overtakes if you need to, and that's what a sprint weekend.
Alright, on the grid then. See the strategy. Just straight mediums, no pit stops or anything like that as we now line up on the grid. Can we get a nice little stop here? yeah, that's solid. I'll take purple. Definitely take purple. Obviously, everyone on the mediums. Don't think anyone will be in the pits unless they lose their whole front wing. As now, the 5 red lights are on. And away we go here in Miami for the sprint race. Getting a solid start using that boost mode. Back down to medium, we see Hadjar trying to sneak around the outside. Cut that corner a little bit there. He's going to hold it, but then it turns into the inside for the next corner. A bit of understeer as we see the battle up ahead, Piastri and Russell. As Hadjar drops back a little bit, now they fall into their single file through this little section. Lucky not to get a warning there for a corner cut. As now we come to the troubled turn for us, this long left. Lose a lot of time on the exit, and definitely a lot of time on the entry as well. So just an overall mid corner, as now we use that boost mode. Russell blinking his lights already, same with Oscar Piastri, as we're going to get Russell, and we're going to have a look down the outside of Piastri. Basically a half look there. Thought better of it. Good from us into this tight little windy section that, like I said, I'm quite good at compared to the AI. Cutting that one, getting back over to the right, onto this long back straight here, saving up the battery through there. It's very good. As we now drain it all, hopefully get past Oscar Piastri. We do. We got Leclerc just up here as well. He's blinking. He goes defensive. And Piastri back around our outside. Oh, as we just clip the back of Leclerc, we've got a bit of damage to our front wing. Honestly, I didn't really think there was much in that, but you know, I suppose you get crucified in this game. So running simulation damage, as we now see Piastri trying to go around the outside of Leclerc, turns into the inside, and then back to the outside as they get kind of caught on each other. Now we're back in this fight. Honestly, the wing damage didn't really affect us too much. I still felt pretty good in the car. Still, you know, felt pretty quick and was able to catch cars ahead. So we see this great battle between Piastri and Leclerc as we go up the back of Leclerc again. And again, they're so good on the exit. As now we skip down the straight, as this battle just keeps going on. Piastri just really determined to get past the Ferrari, as we see yellow flags behind, that is. As we're back to green now. Oh, and it's a red. It's a red flag. Wow. So, kind of mirroring what happened in Bahrain, this time it's a Lindblad spinning out. So, not a very good couple of races for the V-Carb drivers. Couple of speeders. Oh! And then the Audi just comes and chops his whole front wing off. Wow. Terrible couple of races for V-Carb. Really just can't get their starts together. As now we'll just go on to another set of the mediums for the restart here on lap 4 as the 5 red lights are on. Held for a while and away we go. See some cars behind on the hards, Antonelli and Hadjar, as we get an okay start. Still see if we can get past Leclerc, which we look like we have. Oh, as Piastri gets tangled on Hamilton. Nearly got at the back of Leclerc as we've fixed that front wing. Thankfully, I was just double checking. And Leclerc skates back past us there. Again, lucky not to get a corner cut warning. The curbs have been changed there, so it's pretty easy to cut it all the way because it's flat. So I did get a couple of warnings throughout the race. As now on lap 5 we send it down the back straight on Leclerc as he's going to have another little dive at us. We hold the position into this windy little section just behind the two McLarens. Hopefully we can get within a second of Piastri here and get that overtake. It looks like we will. Just hovering around that second mark now as we've saved up all the battery, deploy all the boost. We're just in that second window, and now we move on to the next lap down the same straight. We're going to get him into the final couple of corners here onto like the start finish straight. I guess kind of a couple of corners, I suppose, isn't it? And Piastri fights it. Now we're going to go back around the outside up to the finish line to start lap 7. We're up to P3 in this sprint race. We are really quick on these mediums. Yeah, honestly, Probably have to turn the difficulty back up for the next one in Monaco. I think I'll try 110, as you know the AI have never been really good there in the last probably 3 or 4 games. So here we are, lap 8. Antonelli has also got past our fellow Australian Oscar Piastri, as now we head into the little section under the bridge, as we see more yellows in the same spot as where Lindblad had a spin. It looks like an Aston Martin at the bottom of the screen there. We'll have to go back to that in a second, as Antonelli's got a good run on us. We're using all of our battery, and he's going to skate back past on the outside. Are we going a little bit deep? Is he going to get the switch back? No, we're going to hold it. So we hold the position, and now we start lap 9, still in P3. Very solid driving there. I didn't actually mean to go deep there, but here we see Lance Stroll. They right themselves, don't they? A bit of damage there from one of the cars ahead, or behind, sorry, running into him. But these jokes just right themselves. That is class. As now we head down the straight, and Antonelli coming back at us again, literally identical to the previous lap, as this time we kind of go a little bit deeper on the brakes again. It's pretty much an identical move, really. This time though, he's going to get back past us, and we're down to P4. We've got not much battery. We're going to have to try and save it up through this first sector for that back straight. As, look at that, with like 2 corners, he's already like a second up the road. As now we go a little bit deep into this long left, and Piastri doesn't need another invitation. He's going to send it, and now he is up into P4. Dropped to P5, and we've got Hadjar right in our gearbox as well, as we've got basically no battery, so everything's just heating up here in this last lap, as Hadjar's going to go for it. A little bit of contact almost, as we're going to hold the position there on Hadjar. But look at that, Antonelli already 2 seconds up the road, Piastri half a second. Just class from those guys, as we see Lewis Hamilton is going to come across the line to win the Miami Sprint with, I think that was Lando Norris in P2, as we take the checkered flag as P5.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Solid race there from us. I said if we could just get in the top 8, I'd be happy. We've definitely exceeded that. Pretty much could have had a podium. Well, I don't know if you call it a podium, but could have had a top 3 if it wasn't for the last kind of half a lap or so. So, yeah, let's get straight into quali. Join us here towards the end of our first flying lap in Q1. Back on the softs, no mediums this time, of course, as we run up to the line. I'm just going to kind of skip through this quali session. Already about 20 minutes into the video at this point, as we do a decent lap there, 27.7. Obviously it's still a bit slower than our sprint quali times, but puts us ahead of Antonelli, just behind Piastri. So yeah, by the time we came into the garage, put us P13. So we went out and did another run. As you can see, our first sector wasn't great. Our second sector though, purple, absolutely class, as we're up by 4.5 tenths as the checkered flag drops. You can see we're bumped down to P16, and I'm pretty sure we did end up staying there. So in hindsight, we could have probably stayed in the garage, but definitely thought it's better to be safe than sorry, as we cross the line, and it's going to be P13 again. We love P13 for some reason. So safely through into Q2. Let's have a look at who's out. We've got Ocon, our teammate Gasly, Behrman, Bottas, Perez and Hulkenberg. So both of the Cadillacs out, both of the Haas's out, and the Audi and our teammate in the Alpine. So yeah, Lance Stroll actually surprisingly making it through to Q2, as now we do the same thing here. Join us towards the end of our first lap in Q2 as we go a bit deep there into the last proper corner as we run up to the line. It's going to be a 28.5, obviously on used tyres. It's a pretty crap lap though, so we are a fair way off Lance Stroll. Norris as well, even slower than us, so I'm not sure what happened on his lap. We're going to need to gain about 1.5 seconds to have a chance to make it into Q3 as we go into the last corner. We're up by about a second, almost a second and a half. I don't think it's kind of getting, I don't think it's going to be enough. It's nearly a second and a half up to the line, and it's going to be P12. So that's quite unfortunate. I thought our sprint quali form could have translated and we could have got our first Q3 appearance of the season, but not to be. Oscar Piastri, a big one, he's out in Q2 as well, just about a tenth off Alonso. Wow, as we see Albon and the Williams, they're doing a great job. The Red Bulls down there as well. So we got Piastri, myself, Lindblad, Lawson, Bortoletto and Stroll out in Q2. Let's head into the race.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the NFL outfit, the Miami Dolphins. With its 3.36-mile track and 19 corners, this Miami Grand Prix should create great opportunities for these Formula 2 drivers to overtake and show what they can do. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And it's Andrea Kimi Antonelli in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Hadjar, Sainz, Albon, Alonso, and Oscar Piastri, O'Reilly, Leclerc, Arvid Lindblad, and Lawson, Bortoletto, Stroll, Esteban Ocon, and Pierre Gasly, Behrman, Bottas, Perez, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And we welcome you to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they were at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there, and you've got to carry that through into this race today. And in a way, we've had a snapshot as well of what this driver's capable.
Mate, I know it's tough in there, it's hot in that cockpit, but your tyres are even hotter, so you're going to have to work extra hard to keep them cool. It matters for performance.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Here's the strap. We're going mediums, hards, softs. Hopefully, no more incidents in the first 5 laps. We'll see though. Don't count on it, as we see we're actually bumped up to P11 because Leclerc had a penalty. So everyone, well, the 2 ahead of us, Piastri and Alonso on softs, and then myself, Leclerc and Lindblad on the mediums. As the 5 red lights are on. Again, held for quite a while, and now they're out. Here we go. Solid start from Piastri there, who already wants to have a crack at Alonso. Oh, thought we were going to go up and hit his rear left tyre there. Luckily we didn't, as they're really getting caught on each other through there. A little bit of understeer, and there's the contact. There's the contact with Piastri. I called it. As now Leclerc's flying around the outside as we get him back. So it's all kind of happening in this first few corners. As we see, like I said, hopefully in the sprint the damage didn't really affect us, so hopefully we can make it through alright. The car still felt alright. As we move onto the back straight, deploying all the battery, catching up to Piastri here, building a bit of a gap to Leclerc behind, almost a second. As now we're going to send it around the outside. I think we are. We go deep and we get the move done around the outside of Piastri. That is a great move, as now we see Hadjar ahead, and I'm pretty sure is that Alonso and Albon just here as well, having a bit of a scrap. and then I think it's Carlos Sainz in the other Williams. So bit of a train going on. Obviously lap 1, using all the battery again. Hopefully we can get a move done here on Hadjar. Oh, he's going to defend a bit there. And Albon also harvesting, as Hadjar's going to stay there though. He's not giving up like Max Verstappen, as we get that move done on the exit there. So heading on to lap 2 then, we're chasing after the Williams of Albon and the Aston Martin of Alonso. And by the time we head on to the back straight here towards the end of lap 2, we're going to see that Alonso's actually gone past the Williams of Sainz. So that's great work from him, as we... Oh, honestly, that's a move there on Albon. I didn't really mean it. I kind of just missed the braking point a little bit, and kind of had to send it. So I'll definitely take it. As now we head into turn 1, we see Alonso fighting Verstappen. Is that Verstappen up there? I think it is. I think it's a Red Bull. As we see Fernando turning back the clock here. He's absolutely giving it everything in that shit box. As now we go deep again into this little windy section. Everyone's getting caught on each other. Still battling here, Alonso and the Williams, as Lewis Hamilton is getting caught up in this now. As we're just going to send it up the inside. Caught him by surprise. Bit of contact there as well. Nearly spun us off into the wall. But we thankfully untangled ourselves. As we're going to use the battery. We're going to drag Albon with us, who's probably going to get us here. As we see Alonso and Sainz still having a mega fight. As we're going to hold it around the outside, not too deep that time. But Albon has the inside for this corner here. Turns into the outside, so we're going to get back ahead and back up into P7. As now we head on to lap 4. And we see we're pretty much 3 wide here. Let's have a look. Yeah, here we are. 3 wide with Albon and Alonso as we make the move. See Piastri and Hamilton getting caught up in this battle behind. So a very, very nice moment there. As now we head on to the end of lap 5. Carlos Sainz this time is our victim. And again, oh, you know what? We're going to let him have it. Go for a bit of a switchback here. But he's going to shut the door. Well done from Sainz there. Very good driving. We're up to P6 now. We've got some really good speed here though, as he's going to harvest into turn 1. We're going to send it, nearly make a bit of contact there, but we are going to try and get this move done. He holds it though, the inside, unreal. He's a bit twitchy, but he makes it work. But we're still not giving up. We're going to have another go as we kind of just kiss his side pod there. And yes, we get the move done. We're up into P5. So back where we were in the sprint. Hopefully the pace is good enough today. Could we be on for a podium? That is the question, to be a mega ask from where we P12 on the grid. So as now we move on to lap 6 and we see the Cadillac of Valtteri Bottas retiring from the race. Here we see him. You just see him there to the right, pulling over. The poor bloke. As now we move on to lap 9 and we see Hamilton coming back through this traffic. He will definitely not want to be all the way down here, considering his sprint win, as we nearly actually go up the back of him there. So hopefully we can use him to drag us towards Verstappen. And now we get to lap 10, so we're going to box. Hamilton a second up the road. Yeah, my tyres are pretty cooked, so here we are coming into the pit lane at the end of lap 10. Anyone else with us? I think there was one more car. And I think it's... Is that Albon? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. So hopefully no issues from the lads at the pit stop. Very nice work. Where are we going to come out? See our teammate here. See a bit of a fight going on as we chuck on the new hard tyres, as we're literally coming out right into this fight between Ocon and Pierre Gasly, the two Frenchmen, former teammates obviously. As now look at the grip difference though on these fresh hard tyres compared to Pierre's old mediums. Absolutely flying as we're literally pushing him through the corner. and now using some of our boost to hopefully get the move done. Don't want to lose too much time here, as he's going to harvest and not really fight it too hard. So hopefully now catch up to Piastri, who's also on the hards. And yeah, oh man, Verstappen. Oh wow. As we move on to lap 12, we see Max out of the race, literally just ahead of us. That is so unfortunate, from P2 in this race, and he's out. Wow, absolute scenes as we gain a few positions as cars are in the pit lane. Hamilton and Lawson chucking on some softs. Well, I can't believe that. So now we move on to lap 14. We've now caught up to Oscar Piastri, who's on the back of Isaac Hadjar. And we're definitely quicker. I think it's Hadjar, obviously, that's holding up Piastri. All on the hards. So let's see if we get a move done down the straight here. As we open up the wings, deploy all the ERS. I'm going to flick to this nice broadcast camera. And we're going to get past Piastri. But he's gonna just have another sniff around the outside. But we hold the position, as now our next target is Hadjar, literally just ahead of us, as we open up the wings once again here. And are we going to have her go into turn 1? I think we are. As we start harvesting, we're going to send it around the outside, a bit of contact with the Red Bull, but we make pretty short work of those two, and we're up into P4. And now as we move on to lap 18, we see George Russell, who has come through on the hards. So that's our podium streak, or I suppose our time on the podium over. As now we move on to lap 19, and we see the other Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli making pretty short work of us. As now literally identical moves happening. A lap later on the same spot of the track, the McLaren of Lando Norris gets past us. So still P4 on these hards. We're going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. We're pretty much in the middle of kind of nowhere there. We were 5 seconds ahead of Piastri, about 5 seconds behind Antonelli, as we come into the pit lane. Hopefully no issues, fingers crossed, as we are the only one in the pit lane. So I think it said we're going to come out P10. Let's have a look. At the moment we're P8 as we come out, and it looks like, yeah, we're gonna stay P8. So solid there. Onto some used. They're about, yeah, look at that, about 13% used, these softs, but they'll still be alright. So yeah, like I said, we move through this race as we see yellow flags. The last probably 6 or so laps have just kind of, we've just been zooming through them, as it's Ollie Behrman who has a spin. Not great for Haas. He was up in the points, as now we skip on to the final lap of this Miami Grand Prix. Currently in P7. Now we change our attention, or we move our attention to the front of the field, as we see George Russell and Lando Norris battling it out here. As it looks like Lando's going to go for the lead of the race on the final lap. He's going to send it around the outside. Oh, as Russell has a bit of a moment, he's going to make it work. What a move from Lando Norris to take the lead of the Grand Prix. As now we move to the final corner, and it's going to be Lando Norris. He's going to come across the line and win the Miami Grand Prix. What a race from him. Great stuff from McLaren. As you can see, us coming to the line. Definitely time for a new engine after this race. So ICE was at about 70% by the end of it. Tyres are cooked. Engine's cooked. We've done well enough though, if I can even bloody talk, to take the checkered flag in P7. That is a very, very solid race. We just keep racking up these points finishes.
Lando Norris flag.
They led from lights out to the flag at the end, and their race victory was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
Here we go then, the top three from the race making their way onto the rostrum. And Lando Norris celebrates the win in style.
So there we are. What a weekend then. Sprint weekend. Longer video. Kind of makes up for the absolute disaster that was the Bahrain Grand Prix in the last episode. So Norris taking the most points on the weekend. 30, what was that? I think it was like 32. Very good work from him. We're going to come across the line P7. Oscar Piastri having a great race as well. Pierre, look at that. Gone from P18 to P9. And somehow they gave driver of the day to, I think it was Esteban Ocon, I'm not sure why. Sad day for Max Verstappen. He loses points in the drivers' standings. Fernando and Albon having a poor race themselves. As now we flick over to the standings. As we see Lando Norris on top, followed by Antonelli, Russell, Hamilton, Verstappen and Leclerc in that chasing pack. And then it's back to Oscar Piastri and myself, and then there's a bit more of a gap to Carlos, Liam Lawson, Isaac Hadjar, and then our teammate there, Pierre Gasly, with 5 points. Now looking at the constructors, McLaren with a slim lead over Mercedes, then Ferrari a little bit further back, and then Red Bull a little bit more further back, and then you got us pretty much at the top of the midfield here. So yeah, solid race, solid result for the team. We've been picking up a couple of double points finishes, so that's good. Hopefully we can carry it on to Monaco. Very excited for that one. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you for the Monaco Grand Prix.